Hi guys, welcome back to Half-Fast 719. In here doing this install on this clutch. Got the adapter plate in, torqued down to 44 foot-pounds. So basically just went through the instructions of this Valair twin disc, dual disc clutch, ceramic. You must use the supplied bolts with this flywheel. Using roll bolts, washers result in interference between the bolts and the disc. Anyway, it gives you a breakdown of torque specs. I think this is just a generic version with all these information because the bolts that I removed were 12.9. And the bolts that came with it are 12.9, 102 foot-pounds of torque. So basically this video is just, I wasn't going to do like an install video, but they want all this information, all this crap. So warranty information. Basically they want proof of purchase, receipt, invoice, full name, all this mayonnaise. Anyway, break-in is 300 miles for the ceramic. See where it was at? It's probably just right there. So ceramic, 500 miles total. So normal driving 200 miles, progressively increasing loads, and power 300 miles. So 500 miles. So I went through this whole thing, basically read it all, probably like 2 or 3 times. Because like I said, it's a generic all clutch install. So it wants you to test the pressure plate, make sure, or not the pressure plate, the clutch discs, make sure it fits on yours, which it does. They need you to remove the washer behind the ball, the pivot, and they need you to check to make sure that the pressure plate fits in the bell housing, which it does. And then fork and all the other junk. So yeah, they want you to do a lot of crap, which I already did. Already checked that. Checked that. The ball's good. They want you to make sure that if it's a bad ball, it should be a ball, not a point. Why that door's open? Oh, there's some tools. Okay. So I got my Home Depot cart under here. Worked out pretty good for this flywheel because it weighs a ton. Got a cool little trick I'll show you guys. So you can get a barring tool that goes in a spot I'll show you in a second, but you can get a barring tool, put it in there, hold a wrench on that side, and then torque these down, because these have to be torqued down to 102 foot-pounds. The bolts, the flywheel bolts. So it's kind of a pain. And then, you know, this is aluminum, so you don't really want to stick anything in here between the teeth and this. So what I ended up doing was this. So you can take a piece of steel and bend it. They say to take a piece of steel, flat steel, and have it go from here to one of the holes, but you have an offset. If you see, I think you guys see, I can't see. So you have an offset right here. The flywheel sticks out farther, so what I did was stick a bell housing bolt in and ran it off one of their studs and then tightened it, and then you can just pull it off. And then it doesn't do any damage because it's putting leverage differently. Probably should have done the wrench from there to there, from here to there, rather than there to there. But I figure if it pushes on this angle, it would be better leverage than if I was pulling the wrench. It might have bent the stud. So anyway, whatever. That's just my thinking. So got red Loctite on here. I cleaned the holes with brake clean. I cleaned all the bolts with brake clean and let it dry. And then yeah, put red Loctite on there, torqued them all, crisscross pattern, 102 foot-pounds, and then went all the way around in the circle about twice, 102 foot-pounds. Cleaned up a bunch of wiring. That's what I was doing most of the morning. There was a lot of loose wiring, broken wiring, frayed wiring in here, like as if it got pinched between, I don't know, who knows what these people did, this kid. So cleaned up a bunch of the wiring, ran wire loom all around it, taped everything up, used solder butt connectors. I don't know if you guys seen those, but they're solder butt connectors, and you just put the wire in, they touch, and they got a piece of solder. You heat it up to a certain temperature, and it melts the solder and shrinks, so it's like heat shrink and solder. So I did that, and then heat shrink the wires too on top of it, just to be double safe. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this surface all up, throw the discs in there, clean both surfaces up. Got the paint mark up here, so I'll have to match the paint mark. And yeah, so let me go grab the discs and put them on the cart, and then I'm gonna clean them as I put them in. And then yeah, I gotta check, make sure this starter is gonna work. It does have an adapter, so the adapter goes in here like this. Yeah, so anyway, yep, gonna get to it. I'll be back. Alright, so it's pretty heavy. So as you can see, I got the flywheel lined up with the middle plate, whatever you want to call it, and then I got the pressure plate. That's all their paint mark. I do want to say that here's one of their nuts. I have to use different washers because I can't find the washers. I don't know what I did with them, but when I removed these nuts, both washers, they're lock washers, so you know, they're like this, and they both were like this. So they were sea washers, destined for the sea. So I got the starter in there. I pulled the starter out to see the contact. So yeah, the contact is good because it has the spacer, which leads me to believe that it's another thing the bonehead kid did, is when he stuck a stock clutch back in here, he forgot to remove that spacer. And yeah, it seems like it was maybe not thrown far enough, and the starter was sticking when we were trying to start it at the house. But anyway, got everything lined up for the most part. I'm going to push up on it a little bit as I tighten a couple things, but I was going with a clean rag, cleaning all the surfaces with some CRC brake parts cleaner. So some better stuff than the Walmart, I guess. But yeah, I just don't know where those washers went. But I'll find them. I'll show them to you guys when I'm done here. Oh, there they are right there. Let me grab them real quick. Oh man. So here we go. These are the washers that came off. So when I removed those nuts, so see, I guess that's how they identify it. See this for Cummins, and then I don't know what the D one, the one that's shaped like a D, for Duramax, and then the well, they don't use washers or any bolts or anything on the Power Stroke, so the thing just rattles itself to death. So anyway, ended up using some grade 5, or no, those are grade 8 washers. So they're not, these might be grade 10.9, 12.9, I don't know. But I'm hoping it'll work. Hopefully they won't void my warranty, because they suck in the beginning, and I have to correct their suckness. So anyway, yeah, let me get it all bolted up, throw the bell housing on, and then maybe stab the clutch or the transmission. So anyway, yeah, fun. The thing was heavy. Dual disc, pretty heavy, gotta say. It's heavy and it's awkward because you're trying to hold the first disc, that middle plate, and then separator plate, whatever you want to call it, and then you're trying to put the other disc in, and everything wants to fall out. So anyway, getting her done. So I'll be back to show you guys once I'm done, or if I end up calling it quits for the day. Either way, y'all will see. Alright, so I'm back. So got the clutch installed. Was about to throw the transmission in. It is the next day, by the way. That was yesterday. Decided to go throw the transmission in. However, I did paint it, by the way. And found out that you need a new pivot, clutch fork pivot ball. Pain in the butt to get. So, Valair, if I'm saying that right, they recommend you getting one from the Dodge dealership or auto parts store. They say they're $7. They're not $7. Maybe they were $7 back in the day. Anyway, let me just open this real quick. Let's see, hold on. Num 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 num. Alright, went everywhere to check for one, called everybody, called Napa, checked online, AutoZone, they didn't even show one. O'Reilly shows one, same thing, shows the part, shows everything, and they can't get one. It says call your store to order. I called the store, nope, we can't get it, blah blah blah. Call different O'Reillys, yeah, we can get it, but it's gonna take a week. So, and I think it was like $12 from O'Reilly's. So then decided to go to Napa. And keep in mind, I kept calling the Dodge dealership, the Ram, you know, the local dealership that we have out here. It's about 30 miles away. And the guys, they're so lazy. Southern California people are so lazy out here. Anyway, guy's so lazy. I'm assuming he was answering and hanging up and answering and hanging up, because it wouldn't even be like a boop 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 or nothing. It was just a click click. So yeah. Anyway, so O'Reilly called a different O'Reilly store. He's like, yeah, we can get it. We can get it Thursday. Oh yeah, I already said all that. So I go to Napa this morning because I tried calling Napa. They weren't answering. So I went to Napa this morning. We had to run and make a bunch of errands. Decided to go to Napa. The stupid lady, I don't know why. If you don't like your job, why do you work there? Or if you don't know how to do your job, ask for some more training. Anyway, I go in there with this, tell her, hey, I need a clutch fork pivot ball. Said it's called different names, called a pivot ball, called a clutch release pivot ball, whatever. Just type in clutch and pivot and it should pop up. So she looked it up, and you know, with all kinds of attitude, whatever. The dude next to her, I had to end up helping her, and yeah, ended up they didn't have it. They had a ball, one of these, but it was like a quarter the size, almost like for like when you're hydraulic assist for like a hood, hydraulic dampener, or whatever they call them. Anyway, they didn't have one, so I was just like, okay, you don't have it. She said, well, let me check. I'm like, no, I'll just go to Dodge. So I ended up going to Dodge. Another dude from the back, because I rang the bell. So some dude from the back, I'm sure he's just a parts boy, but it wasn't the people that worked there. I show him what I need, and he's like, oh, okay. I give him the part number, the Mopar factory part number. He goes, oh yeah, we don't have any, but Jeep has them across the street. And I was like, alright, cool. Because I know it's Jeep. Jeep, whatever, basically it's been around since 88 to present. They're still using them in the manual transmissions. Anyway, he sends me over to Jeep. Going there to Jeep with a printout of whatever he gave me, piece of paper. He's like, alright, I'll be back. So he ended up having it. He ended up getting it. So good job on the non-parts guy from Dodge, from Hunter Dodge. And then good job to the Jeep guy. Anyway, ended up getting the part. I'll show you guys the part number. So it's a part number. And the I got a spring too. Part number was, the part was 15, 16 bucks and $7 for the clip. So yeah, I'll show you the difference between new and used. So Valair says that you shouldn't have, it should not be pointed. So you see a difference. This obviously is new, this is old, worn. So I had to get one. I don't want to install a whole transmission and everything, knowing that this part, yeah, it could be fine. Could be fine for the life of the clutch, for the life of the truck. But just peace of mind tells me just to buy a new one. So anyway, got a new one of those and a new clip. I have the old clip, but $7, why not? Because knowing me, I'd go to put the old clip on and it'd probably break. So yeah, it's just too hot. Went to mother-in-law's house, and the wife and me went over there and helped her with some gardening stuff. But yeah, so I put this all together. Transfer case is completely cleaned. Bearings all look good. Gears all look good. Synchro, whatever thing looks good. Everything's cleaned. Everything's resealed. New seals and gaskets. Except for these two right here. Which are right there. So I'll have to put those in. So I'll probably just run a couple screws in there and pull them out. And then slide the new ones in. Because I'm not taking this all apart to take those shafts out. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Because I think you got to take these plugs out here, or that out, and this out, and move them. And they have roll pins in there you got to beat out. So anyway, yeah, I'm just glad I got this today. Because otherwise, I'd have to put this transmission in 2 weeks. And I kind of want my garage back. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. Today is Saturday. It is hot and humid. Yesterday I was out here rebuilding that transfer case. Or not rebuilding it, but resealing it and doing all that stuff. I was out here for probably good 8 hours. From like 7 in the morning till 3. However many hours that is. Like 3:30. Actually, no, it was 4 o'clock because my kid got home right when I went inside. So anyway, it's hot. Gonna go inside, upload this video. See you guys on the next one, which will be soon. Once I get this installed, I'll show you guys of it installed. Alright, thanks for watching. Later.